Our top focus this morning, Akhada Parishad head Mahant Narendra Giri has been found dead in Prayagraj. A suicide note has also been recovered, naming a disciple who's been detained now from Haridwar. Here's all the latest on the investigation.
Mahant Narendra Giri, revered by millions, is found dead under mysterious circumstances. The news has come as a shock to the spiritual community across the country. Mahant's body was found hanging from a fan by a nylon rope at the Bagambari Mutt in Prayagraj. His room was locked from inside. To get in, the authorities had to break the door. Inside the room, the police recovered a 7-page suicide note. The note alleges Mahant Narendra Giri was facing mental trauma inflicted by his own disciples. It alleges Anand Giri and 2 other disciples were troubling the seer.
सर आनंद गिरी के अलावा 2 लोगों की बात है, ये 2 लोग कौन है, क्या आशंका जताई गई है?
ये अब वहाँ के जो अधिकारी, स्थानीय अधिकारी हैं, इस पे कार्रवाई करेंगे। हो सकता है वो वहाँ के स्थानीय लोग हों, इसलिए मुख्यालय से इस तरह का कोई हेल्प नहीं मांगा गया। और अगर तत्काल रूप से इनको डिटेक्ट नहीं किया जाता तो इससे भी असंतोष फैल सकता था।
The police investigation did not begin in the best fashion.
उत्तर प्रदेश पुलिस ने आनंद गिरी को उत्तरांचल पुलिस के सहायता से हरिद्वार में डिटेन किया है।
Less than an hour after the police announced Anand Giri's detention, the disciple appeared on Aaj Tak. Anand Giri, who is named in the suicide note, is calling the Mahant's death a murder.
हमारे गुरुजी ने अपने पूरे जीवन काल में कभी एक पत्र भी नहीं लिखा, वो इतना बड़ा सुसाइड नोट भी लिख सकते। हमारे गुरुजी का व्यवहार बेबाक था और बहुत मजबूत था, वो कभी आत्महत्या नहीं कर सकते, उनकी हत्या हुई है।
Narendra Giri, who was the president of the Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad, had given his last interview to India Today, just a day before the death.
हम लोग संत महात्मा चाहते भी हैं कि विकास के साथ साथ धर्म को जोड़ना भी जरूरी होता है। जो हमारी परंपरा में सनातन परंपरा को लेकर चले वह सरकार अच्छी भी होती है और धर्म के प्रति वो डरती भी है।
Narendra Giri and Anand Giri have had differences earlier. Anand Giri was once allegedly accused of financial impropriety but was forgiven by the Guru.
उन्होंने कहा कि जो सोशल मीडिया, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया, प्रिंट मीडिया में जो भी हमने गुरु के प्रति वक्तव्य दिया है वो वापस लेता हूँ। यह सब देखते हुए मैं भी सहृदय आनंद गिरी को माफ करता हूँ।
Narendra Giri's sudden demise has left political circles in shock. Leaders cutting across party lines paid condolences.
अखाड़ा परिषद के अध्यक्ष के नाते उन्होंने जो नेतृत्व देने का काम किया, मैं तो एकदम निःशब्द, मैं तो व्यक्तिगत तौर से बहुत दुखी। मतलब मुझे लगता है कि जैसे मेरा कोई पिता समान कोई ऐसा संरक्षक, ऐसा मार्गदर्शक चला गया है जिनकी कमी अब कैसे पूरी होगी।
While the police suspect the death to be a suicide, a clear picture will emerge only after the autopsy and other forensic reports are available. With Samarth Srivastav and Abhishek Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
So a lot of questions that are being asked right now on exactly what happened to Mahant Narendra Giri, with number of theories now doing the rounds. Samarth is joining us live from Prayagraj with the latest updates on the story. Samarth, good morning. Just tell us really what the latest is on the investigation front. The cops suspect that this is unfortunately a death by suicide, but the suicide note naming one of the disciples has thrown up more questions, especially with the disciple saying that, look, this is a murder.
Well, Narendra Giri has left with many questions behind. He died yesterday. As per police, in prima facie it seems that it is a suicide and he hanged himself to death yesterday at this particular mutt where I'm available. First, I want to show you the visuals of this particular mutt where I'm currently present in Prayagraj, and as you can see that police barricades are on inside this particular mutt, and this is the Bagambari mutt, the place where Mahant Narendra Giri used to reside, and the guest house. I'm showing you the visuals of the guest house where he was found dead. So you can see arrangements have been made for today's entire ceremony where CM Yogi Adityanath, Deputy CM Keshav Prasad Maurya are about to come, and other big leaders are likely to come. Though it has turned into a police camp with many barricades and police force, not just inside this particular mutt, but outside the gate also. You can assume that many police force has been arrived, while a bus has been maintained to take the body for the post-mortem. But the question is, the recovered 6 to 7 pages suicide note has left with many questions. It has not named just one disciple Anand Giri, but also named 2 other disciples of Lete Hue Hanuman temple. That is Aditya Tiwari and his son Sandeep Tiwari. Aditya Tiwari is the main priest of that particular temple. So in the suicide note, as per the police, what we are getting a total of the name of 3 disciples, including Aditya Tiwari, Sandeep Tiwari and Anand Giri are mentioned in the suicide note. And that is why Uttar Pradesh police reached Haridwar yesterday night and is taking back Anand Giri back to Uttar Pradesh, to Prayagraj for further questioning. So these were some serious questions raised, as though police is yet to ascertain that the suicide note was written by Mahant Narendra Giri, as it is the work of forensic team. But what police told, that what he got to know from the disciples at the mutt, the handwriting matches to Mahant Narendra Giri. And it is also worth mentioning here that suicide note doesn't only have the name of disciples, but also have an entire will, like he has mentioned, like how much amount of property will be given to which disciple. So these things have been mentioned very clearly. So it seems that Mahant Narendra Giri might have planned this thing days before. And as you know, our team was here for a shoot 2 days back, and we have met Mahant Narendra Giri. He was looking completely fine. He was happy, and he was speaking. He was all fine, and it has come as a real shocker. Like once a team was there, and then at 24 hours after, we are getting information that he has committed suicide.
Samarth, so you know what you're pointing out about our team being there with this just before this happened. I want to focus on that. For the moment, Samarth, thank you for joining us with the latest on the investigation. The Prayagraj seer had actually spoken to Rahul Kanwal just 2 days ago. This was on September 18th. And here are some excerpts from his last interview.
आपको वाकई में लगता है कि कुछ काम हुआ है बीते 4.5 साल में?
देखिए, 4.5 साल में काम नहीं, विकास जितना मतलब अन्य सरकारों से तो बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ।
कैसे, क्या हुआ यहाँ?
देखिए, पहली बात आप जाइए, रोड सड़क देख लीजिए, आप गांव की सड़क देख लीजिए, हाईवे देख लीजिए। आप बनारस लगता था 4 घंटा, आज लगता है 1.5-2 घंटा। आप कानपुर चले जाइए, प्रयागराज से कौशाम्बी का जो मार्ग था, वहाँ कभी आप जब गए होंगे तो उस समय लगभग हमें लगता है कि हम वहाँ मेरा खेत भी है, मूरतगंज जाने लगता 2 घंटा लगता था। आज हम अपने खेत में 30 मिनट पहुँच जाता हूँ। तो ये सब विकास दिखता है। दूसरी बात देखिए, हमारा कहना ये है कि गरीबों इस कोरोना काल में 4.5 साल जोड़ा आपने, 1 साल निकाल दिए कोरोना काल के लिए, अब बचा 3.5 साल। और 3.5 साल में जो विकास भाजपा ने किया वो वास्तव में हुआ, प्रशंसनीय भी है। और हम लोग संत महात्मा चाहते भी हैं कि विकास के साथ साथ धर्म को जोड़ना भी जरूरी होता है। जो हमारी परंपरा में सनातन परंपरा को लेकर चले, वह सरकार अच्छी भी होती है और धर्म के प्रति वो डरती भी है। और जिन्हें धर्म को कोई डर ही नहीं है तो क्या करेगा?
पर क्या साधु संतों का कोई पॉलिटिकल साइड लेना, कोई राजनीतिक पार्टी के पक्ष में इतने खुले तरीके से आना, क्या ये सही है?
नहीं, देखिए, आप सोचिए इस पे। संत महात्मा हम लोग जब घर बार छोड़ के बनते हैं तो देश के लिए बनते हैं, अपने धर्म की रक्षा के लिए बनते हैं। और जो पार्टी कोई भी हो, अगर जो पार्टी हमारे धर्म की रक्षा के लिए और देश की रक्षा के लिए कार्य करती है, उसके साथ संत महात्मा होते हैं। आज अगर और पार्टियां खुल के हमारे सनातन परंपरा का समर्थन करें, राम मंदिर का समर्थन पहले कोई किया नहीं,
अब तो सब कर रहे हैं।
नहीं, अब तो उनकी मजबूरी है, अब तो उनकी दिखावटी मजबूरी, अब तो मजबूरी मान लीजिए उनकी आप। वो जान गए हैं कि जिस तरह से मुस्लिम एक हो रहा है वैसे हिंदू एक हो रहा है, तो उनकी मजबूरी है कि अब वो जानते हैं कि नहीं, मुसलमान को छोड़कर जरा हिंदू तरफ ही जाना पड़ेगा, लेकिन वो सफलता नहीं मिलेगी। इसलिए असली चीज़ क्या है? असली चीज़ जो शुरू से रहा वो असली है, और जो अभी जोड़ा तो नकली माना जाएगा भाई।
Let's move on to some other stories that we're tracking this morning. In Telangana, we're seeing a massive political face-off that's erupted between the Congress and the TRS. Telangana Congress Chief Revanth Reddy dared Chief Minister KCR's son, KT Ramarao, for a drug test to create awareness against drug menace in the state. The invitation for a drug test, however, didn't go down well with KTR. He dragged in Rahul Gandhi. KTR said that he would be willing to join and undergo any test if the Congress MP from Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi, is ready to join him. He filed, however, a defamation suit also against the Telangana Congress chief and dared him to undergo a lie detector test in return. Reddy also dared KTR and his father KCR to undergo a lie detector test over alleged corruption cases in the state of Telangana.
तेलंगाना सरकार जो हाईकोर्ट में मैं PIL डाला था, उसमें मैं ED, NCB और DRA को पार्टी करके केस डाला था। तो वो लोग तेलंगाना प्रदेश सरकार से रिपोर्ट मांगे, तो जो इंक्वायरी चला है, प्रिलिमिनरी इंक्वायरी रिपोर्ट चाहे, तो ये लोग रिफ्यूज टू गिव दैट रिपोर्ट टू ED एंड NCB एंड DRA, सेइंग दैट हम लोग ही खत्म कर दिए, आपको कोई कुछ देने का नहीं है। तो मैं ये सवाल किया था KTR को, क्या देख भाई, आप अगर जब केंद्र सरकार के कोई विचारण ऑफिसर कोई आके यहाँ पर कुछ इंक्वायरी किए, तो कोई तेलंगाना प्रदेश सरकार कोई नुकसान होने वाले नहीं है, तो आप इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करने में क्या दिक्कत है? क्यों आप लोग कोर्ट में ऐसा एफिडेविट फाइल किए? आप तो जवाब देना ही पड़ेगा।
Pakistan's dirty design to recruit and radicalize Kashmiri youth has been exposed. Pakistan is using Taliban to radicalize youth now. Security agencies have said that 82 Kashmiri youth have been brainwashed so far.
India's timely interventions on the border have left Pakistan deeply worried. The reason? There is a drop in infiltration of terrorists from across the border due to the strict vigil maintained by the Indian Army and security forces along the line of control. Sources say Indian agencies have caught wind of a big Talibani terror recruitment plan in Jammu and Kashmir, prepared by the Pakistan's ISI.
Rattled by the receding strength of the militants in the valley, the Indian intelligence agencies are aware of the ISI plan for recruitment of militants in the valley. Pakistan, having consolidated its position in Kabul, have now decided to have a Taliban plan for a fillip to the militants in the valley.
In a bid to radicalize and recruit, Pakistan's intelligence agency is turning to social media. They are sharing videos of the Taliban to push youngsters into joining its terror network. Indian security agencies are now constantly monitoring social media to thwart Pakistan's jihad plan. Several Twitter accounts related to Vilayah al-Hind or Voice of Hind are also being monitored. According to a report by the Indian security agencies, even though 110 terrorists have been killed in encounters till August 31st this year, the terrorist groups have managed to brainwash around 82 Kashmiri youngsters and push them into terrorism. Agencies say 48 have joined the Lashkar-e-Taiba, 16 have joined Hizbul Mujahideen, 6 went to Jaish-e-Mohammed, 11 to Al-Badr and 1 to Ansar Ghazwat. The epicenter of recruitment of terrorists appears to be South Kashmir. 68 of the 82 terror recruits are from Anantnag, Pulwama, Kulgam and Shopian, according to sources. Bureau Report, India Today.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to embark on an all-important visit to the United States this week. The Prime Minister will be participating in a bilateral meeting with US President Joe Biden on 24th September, so just a few days to go. This will be in Washington, D.C. This is the first in-person meeting between the two leaders since Biden took over as the US President. Modi will also be participating in the first in-person Quad Summit on 24th September. During the Quad Summit, the leaders will review the Quad vaccine initiative and also focus on global issues such as critical and emerging technologies, cybersecurity and also climate change. Modi will then move to New York, where he will address the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly on 25th September. India is likely to take up global issues such as terror, climate change, equitable and affordable access to vaccines in the UNGA.
He will participate in the first in-person Quad Leaders Summit in Washington on September 24th. On September 25th, he will address the UN General Debate of the UN General Assembly at its 76th session. While Prime Minister is in Washington, he will also have a bilateral meeting with President Biden. We also look forward to bilateral meetings with other Quad leaders, time permitting, as well as bilateral meeting with some other leaders while he's in New York on September 25th.
News coming in from Karnataka this morning. A bill has been tabled by the Bommai government seeking to protect temples and other religious structures on government land or public places, and this will be taken up for discussion today. The bill empowers the state government to make rules regarding the manner and conditions subject to which religious structures existing on the date of commencement of this act shall be protected. This comes in the midst of the ongoing political war in the state with the demolition of religious structures by district authorities with regards to the Supreme Court orders. The Supreme Court had said any illegal structure must be razed down. A temple in Mysuru, Nanjangud, was in fact brought down. It was demolished and it led to a big political face-off. That prompted the Bommai government to put a halt on further demolitions, and now they've introduced a bill which will be discussed today in the assembly, where they've said that the government will decide about the razing of these religious structures. Royal Challengers Bangalore started the UAE leg of IPL 2021 in the worst possible manner. After being bowled out for just 92, KKR opener Shubman Gill and Venkatesh Iyer then smashed their way to the target as KKR emerged victorious in 10 overs.
After opting to bat first, RCB just never really got going. Captain Virat Kohli played a delightful cover drive to start things but departed right after, falling to an in-dipper from Prasidh Krishna. What followed was a procession with the RCB batsmen offering very little resistance. Devdutt Padikkal played a few shots, but Lockie Ferguson had his number for 22.
Oh, he's got it! Yes, he surely has gloved it. Yes, he has.
KS Bharat, who was making his debut in the game, was the next to fall.
And then they're gone!
RCB's Mr. Dependable AB de Villiers went for a first ball duck after a fantastic Yorker from Andre Russell.
Russell, number 4, top Yorker.
Glenn Maxwell's sedate start was brought to a halt by Varun Chakravarti as the big hitting Australian went for the glory shot.
It's the 5th one down now for the Challengers.
Maxwell's departure had RCB tottering at 63 for 5. The lower order too struggled as expected, and Virat Kohli's men were bowled out for just 92 in the end. A stark reminder of how it was against the same opposition who they had bowled out for just 49 back in 2017.
It's the simple catch.
With just 93 needed, the run chase turned out to be a cakewalk for Eoin Morgan's men as KKR registered their 3rd victory of the season.
Ooh, regal. Absolutely beautiful to watch.
This emphatic win also improved KKR's net run rate massively, raising KKR's hopes in their quest for a place in the playoffs.
And that is fitting. It really is fitting that he's found the gap. He's played a
Sports Bureau, India Today.
And his team have been too good.